In 1895, a young soldier struggled to find his place in the world. His name was Winston Churchill. At that time, Churchill was not famous, he was not powerful, and he was not confident about his future. In fact, many teachers believed he would never achieve great things. How did this happen? How did a young officer with average school results grow into one of the most powerful leaders in the world? And how did his determination, courage, and powerful words help change the course of history during World War II? This is not only a story about politics or war, it is a story about persistence. Persistence means continuing to move forward even when life becomes difficult. And as you listen carefully, you will also learn new English words, improve your listening skills, and discover powerful lessons about determination and leadership. This story will teach you how persistence and courage can transform an ordinary life into an extraordinary one. The story begins in England in the late 19th century. Its ships traveled across oceans, its soldiers served in many countries, and its influence reached every continent. The society of that time was very structured. Families often expected children to follow specific paths in life. Some became soldiers, others entered politics or business. It was in this world that Winston Churchill was born. His father, Lord Randolph Churchill, was an important political figure. His mother, Jenny Jerome, came from the United States and was known for her intelligence and charm. From the outside, Churchill's childhood seemed privileged. He lived in a large home and belonged to an important family. Churchill also had difficulty focusing on subjects that did not interest him. Because of this, his school results were often poor. Yet even as a young boy, Winston Churchill showed two important qualities: curiosity and imagination. He loved reading about history, soldiers, and great battles. In his mind, he imagined adventure and heroism. His parents were busy with their own lives and rarely spent time with him. Much of Winston's childhood was spent in boarding schools. At school, he sometimes felt discouraged. Discouraged means feeling that success is impossible. Teachers criticized him. Other students sometimes performed better than he did. Churchill eventually entered the Royal Military Academy at Sandhurst, a prestigious military school. Getting into Sandhurst was not easy. Winston Churchill failed the entrance exam twice before finally passing it on his third attempt. This small victory taught him something important. Failure did not mean the end. It simply meant he needed to try again. He wanted adventure. He wanted to prove himself, and most importantly, he wanted to make his voice heard. Churchill believed that words could shape ideas and influence the future, but he also knew that success would require courage and perseverance. At that time, Churchill was just a young officer with little influence. But Winston Churchill had already made a quiet decision. He would not allow early failure to define his future. Instead, he would work harder, learn constantly, and seize every opportunity that appeared. That decision would begin a journey filled with challenges, danger, and eventually, remarkable leadership. Young Churchill wanted to see action. He believed real experience would help him grow and prove his abilities. So he traveled to different regions where conflicts were happening. In Cuba, Churchill observed fighting between Spanish forces and local rebels. Later, he served in India, where he spent long hours studying military strategy and reading history books. He wrote articles for newspapers to earn extra money and gain recognition. Some of these articles received attention, but success did not come immediately. Many editors rejected his work. Rejection means refusing to accept something. Imagine working hard on a piece of writing only to hear someone say, "No, this is not good enough." He believed that every rejection was simply part of the learning process. Skill building period. During his years in the army, Churchill developed a powerful habit. He studied constantly. While other officers relaxed after their duties, Churchill often spent hours reading books about politics, history, and leadership. He analyzed speeches from famous leaders. He asked himself important questions. What makes a speech powerful? Why do some leaders inspire people while others do not? Through practice, Churchill slowly improved his writing and speaking abilities. This process required discipline. Discipline means the ability to continue working even when it is difficult. But Churchill continued practicing. Little by little, his voice became stronger and clearer. These skills, writing and speaking, would later become some of the most powerful tools in his life. Day after day, Churchill worked on improving himself sacrifices. Made success rarely arrives without sacrifice. Winston Churchill often worked long hours while traveling in dangerous environments. At times, Churchill risked his life. In 1899, during the Second Boer War in South Africa, Churchill experienced a dramatic event. While traveling on an armored train, enemy forces attacked. Churchill was captured and became a prisoner of war. Imagine the fear of being imprisoned in a foreign land. For many people, this situation would feel hopeless. But Churchill refused to accept defeat. He traveled nearly 300 miles across enemy territory before reaching safety. This incredible escape made international headlines. Suddenly, Winston Churchill's name began appearing in newspapers around the world.